Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. In this video lecture, we will solve some more problems of graphical method using corner point approach. So let's start the problem. Okay, so first problem is minimum z is equals to minus x1 plus 2x2 and three constraints are given: minus x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 10, x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 6, and x1 minus x2 less than or equal to 2. So our first task is to draw the x1 and x2 axis. So let's say this is my x1 and x2 axis. To draw the first constraint, put x2 equal to 0, you will get x1 equal to minus 10. So on x1 axis, minus 10 will lie somewhere over here on this direction, right? So if you can extend this line over here and select that point x1 equal to minus 10 and x2 equal to find the point on x2 axis, put x1 equal to 0, so you will get x2 equal to 10 by 3. So 10 by 3 is approximately 3.33, so which is lie somewhere over here. So mark that point over here. One point is over here, another point is x1 equal to minus 10. Connect these 2 points, so you will get your first constraint. So that is nothing but minus x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 10. Now generally less than or equal to type constraint always move towards origin. You can confirm it by selecting any random point over here. Let's say this is my random point 0, 2. Put this point in the constraint. So 0, 2 into x2 equal to 2. So 3 multiplied by 2, 6. So 6 is less than or equal to 10. Okay, so this point is in the feasible region, right? So we should move in this direction. So this is our first constraint. Second constraint is x1 plus x2 equal to 6. Put x2 equal to 0, you will get x1 6. x1 equal to 0, you will get x2 6. So connect these 2 points. Again less than or equal to type constraint, move towards origin. Second constraint is x1 minus x2 less than or equal to 2. So first x1, put x1 equal to x2 equal to 0, you will get x1 equal to 2. Put x1 equal to 0, you will get x2 equal to minus 2. So minus 2 will lie in this vertical axis somewhere over here. So connect these 2 points, you will get this third constraint. To find in which direction we should move, let's select a random point. Let's say a random point 1 0. Now put that 1 0 over here. So 1 minus 0. So 1 is less than or equal to 2. Okay, so that point is in the feasible region. We should move in this direction. So this is the closed region bounded by this 3 constraints. This is nothing but our feasible region. Now find out the corner point. So these are the corner point A, B, C, D. So if you draw this graph on the graph paper, you can easily find out the coordinate of this corner point from graph paper itself. So coordinate of A is nothing but 0, 10 by 3, because we have found this point as a 10 by 0, 10 by 3. So if you closely observe the point B, the coordinate of point B is 2, 4. Coordinate of point B is 2, 4. Similar way, coordinate of C is 4, 2, and coordinate of D is 0, 2. So you have all the coordinate of corner point. Now put all the coordinate of coordinates into the objective function. So you will get minimum objective at point D, which is minus 2, right? So our optimal point is point D, and minimum objective function value is minus 2. So this is the optimal solution. Let's solve one more problem. A manager of an oil refinery must decide on the optimal mix of 2 possible blending process, of which the input and output per production run are given. So this is the problem of blending problem, in which we blend 2 oils to get the 2 types of gasoline, X and Y, right? So this is the table which is given. Process 1 and 2, inputs of the blending process is grade A and grade B, and output of blending process is gasoline X and gasoline Y. Now profit per production run of process 1 and 2 are given, that is 3 and 4, and daily limits of input and output is given, that is 200, 150, 100 and 80. So let's assume that number of production run of process 1 and 2 as x1 and x2. This is our decision variable. So decision variable, this is x1 and this is x2. Now you have this table, so you can write all the constraint on an objective function. Our objective is to maximize the profit, right? So first constraint is the maximum amount available for crude A and B are 200 and 150. So this is the maximum amount. You cannot exceed this limit, right? So this is 5x1 plus 4x2 less than or equal to 200, 3x1 plus 5x2 less than or equal to 150. Second output constraint is that at least 100 units of gasoline X and 80 units of gasoline Y must be produced, at least. So minimum 100 unit and 80 unit must be produced. You may produce more than 100 and more than 80, right? So this is the greater than or equal to type constraint. So this is nothing but 5x1 plus 4x2 greater than or equal to 100, 8x1 plus 4x2 greater than or equal to 80. So these four are the our constraint. So just check it out, all these constraint. First row for input grade A and B, that is less than or equal to type constraint. Last two, that is output gasoline X and Y, so that is greater than or equal to type constraint. And x1 and x2 greater than or equal to 0. Objective function is to maximize the total profit. Profit per production run of process 1 and 2 are given, that is 3 and 4. Now let's plot all these constraint. So process 1 and process 2, that is nothing but our decision variable. Say 2. So to plot first constraint 3x1 plus 5x2 less than or equal to 150, as per our usual rule, select x2 equal to 0, you will get x1 equal to 50, and put x1 equal to 0, you will get x2 equal to 30, right? So you will get first constraint. Now it is less than or equal to type constraint, so it is understood that the feasible region moved towards origin. Similar way, second constraint 5x1 plus 4x2 less than or equal to 200, right? So this 2 point, it is also less than or equal to type constraint, so move towards origin. Now third constraint is greater than or equal to type constraint, 5x1 plus 4x2 greater than or equal to 100, so it will move away from the origin. You can check any direction of movement of any constraint by taking any random point in the region. So let's say this is 5x1 plus 4x2 equal to 100, so it will move away from the origin. Similar way, last constraint is 8x1 plus 4x2 equal to 80, right? You can plot this constraint by putting x1 equal to 0, you will get x2, and x2 equal to 0, you will get x1. Okay, so now the common region bounded by all the four constraints are, this is the feasible region. Now if you closely observe this last constraint 8x1 plus 4x2 is equals to 80 is not used to form the feasible region, right? So if we are satisfying this constraint 5x1 plus 4x2 equal to greater than or equal to 100, then automatically we must be satisfied this constraint 8x1 plus 4x2 greater than or equal to 80, right? So this is nothing but redundant constraint. Adding and removal of redundant constraint does not affect the optimal solution. If you remove this or if you add, it doesn't affect the optimal solution because it is not used to form a feasible region, right? So this is our feasible region and this is the redundant constraint. So mark all the corner point of feasible region A, B, C, D, E, right? So if you have plotted this graph in the graph paper, so you can usually find out the coordinate of A, B, C and D. So out of this, coordinate of E is clearly known from this graph, that is 20, 0. Coordinate of D is also known, 40, 0. Coordinate of A is also known, 0, 25. Coordinate of B is also known, 0, 30. You just need to find out the coordinate of C. To find the coordinate of C, just solve these two linear equation, 5x1 plus 4x2 equal to 200 and 3x1 plus 5x2 equal to 150. So these are the coordinates of point all the corner point 0, 25, 0, 30, 400 by 13, 150 by 13, 40, 0, 20, 0. Now our objective function is 3x1 plus 4x2. Put this all the corner point into the objective function. You will get maximum objective function at point C. So our C point is our optimal point. So this is nothing but our optimal solution, Z maximum 1800 by 13. So this is nothing but our optimal solution. So now this problem is for you guys. Try to solve this problem and find out the optimal solution using graphical method and write down the answer in the comment section. You can pause the video to write down the data. Yeah, that's all from my side. Thank you very much.